Hey, welcome to the Udizzy Fire Museum. I don't know if you've seen all the stuff Udizzy got, but I got tons of things to look at and touch and stuff, like all up there. But today's a special day because what we're doing is we're going to visit another museum, the Uxbridge Fire Museum, which isn't that far from us. And they seem to have a pretty cool setup. He's got some fire trucks over there and whatnot, and a lot of trinkets like Udizzy has. So we're gonna hop over there. I want everybody to be safe. I know you're supposed to practice social distancing, so we're gonna stay 6 feet apart as much as we can. But we're all well and doing good. So you stay safe, stay home, and just watch these videos and enjoy. All right, we're well on our way now to the Uxbridge Fire Museum. So if you have a chance, make sure you stop out there to check it out. Right down 146 to Uxbridge, Mass.
Massachusetts 16 toward Uxbridge, Douglas. In half a mile, take exit 3 for Massachusetts 16 toward Uxbridge, Douglas. Take exit 3, then turn left onto Massachusetts 16 East. Street. Continue on Massachusetts 16 East for 2 miles.
Thank you.
Take the next right onto Massachusetts 122 South, Massachusetts 16 East, then turn left onto Massachusetts 16 East. Turn left onto Massachusetts 16 East, then turn right onto Depot Street. Take the next right onto Depot Street. In 600 feet, your destination will be on the left.
And we are arriving. Hey, how you doing? We made it here. We're at the Uxbridge Fire Museum. We're going to take a tour inside, and we're going to have some information given to us. But he's got a great setup here. He's got a few fire trucks and a lot of trinkets that people are more than welcome to come and see on any ordinary day. I know we're in a little situation right now, but he's opened up the doors for you, Dizzy, to check it out. My friend Bill and his partner over there, Roy Henry, and we're going to take a tour. So enjoy. Right on a roll. Welcome to the museum. Make sure you come in and make a donation, because that's how this place stays in effect. You, Dizzy, brought some things for him, some little trinkets. So off we go.
Yeah, my name's Roy Henry, Uxbridge firefighter, 25 years. I go back to 1895 on Uxbridge Fire Service on my father's side of the family. So it really, it's in the blood. And it was an honor to be a member of the Uxbridge Fire Service for all these years, for 25.
Well, we'd like to thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this piece here we recovered out of the mill. This is the old Uxbridge Worcester fire alarm system. How it worked was we saved the gauges, the meter, and it was made by Rockwood Fire Sprinkler System up in Worcester. Got the date 1928. And when there was a fire in the mill, water would be forced through the system, and inside this unit, the wheel with cups. So the water would work the cups that would spin that wheel, and that would bring, the faster it would go, it would bring your alarm.
Bring your alarm inside, exactly. Yep. Wow.
So that's the old alarm to the Uxbridge Worcester mill.
And that was the mill right there.
Yeah, that's the mill.
So they seem to have a lot of patches like the Udizzy Museum, which is great.
We got, well, I think Worcester's on here somewhere.
Right there.
Yeah, Worcester's right there.
Yeah, Worcester's right there.
That's awesome. And all the different sprinkler heads.
Yeah, different companies made them. We saved them out of when we got the clearance to get out of the hazardous mill site, when we get clearance to go down in there, we accumulated, picked up a few of the old sprinkler heads and parts of how to install them. Some of the equipment.
Yeah, and that's like the only way to get those old things is going in these old buildings and pulling them out when before they destroy them. Yeah, I have a friend he's an inspector in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Fire Department, and did the sprinkler systems for them. He mailed me 2 tips from there.
Really?
Yeah, I got those in my museum as well.
Each one of them is, designed to open at a different temperature.
Each one of them is designed to open at a different temperature. And what happens is it pops that little thing inside there. Oh, look at the little green one too. So there's many different kinds.
Oh yeah, different companies made them.
It's got a lot of nice things to check out. Now, these trophies you won with your fire trucks?
Yeah, that's the 40C grade.
We'll get into that in a minute.
The car shows and events, yeah.
That's a beautiful bell. someone has donated one of those to me, one of the last call, and then he had one specially made with my name on it.
Benjamin Emmerich was an old Uxbridge resident. He was on the fire department when my father was on, and his early years, and then he became a sergeant on the police department till he retired. Benny and I were the very first two to get this museum idea ongoing. That was in October of 2005, and down in the mill. We were down in the mill part down there. We had that hose, the two hose reels that we have in this chemical tank were down in South Uxbridge, outside the South Uxbridge station for 20 years, going all to pieces. So we went down and brought them up in the mill.
And saved them.
Yeah. The
That's
two
really
mill owners,
cool.
flour stand down the mill, and we brought them down here and worked on them in the winter months and restored them. Now, this extinguisher here, made by American LaFrance Fire Company, 1944. This was given to us probably about 6 years ago by a couple up in Sutton, Mass. They had bought about a 1720 farmhouse, and the lady called up. It was in October, and she said, "We got a piece of fire apparatus out in the barn. We want to give it to the museum." We're cleaning out the barn. They had just bought the farm.
Right.
They were going through stuff. So Bill and I went up. I had a pickup truck and brought it back.
Bill hiding out there,
Yep.
away from the camera.
Yeah, this type of extinguisher, if you look at wall pictures, it was used on the naval craft. for
Oh,
fighting
wow.
Deck fires.
And that's the thing I find, that once people find you're doing something like this, building a museum, they do contact you and donate some cool
Oh, yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Like there's
lot
a
of-
business, old brake company on Route 20. They called me up and gave me their original fire extinguisher from when they first opened, because now they went to all new stuff now, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just cool that they thought of my museum to give it to.
Yeah.
So if anybody's out there and they have fire stuff, please, feel free.
Allergies.
Please feel free to donate to people who do these museums. That's how all this stuff gets acquired and shown to others throughout the years.
Some of the things we got, this is an unusual situation here. The first Uxbridge crew, when the mill fire, they went in there at facade where it said Burnett in the front. That was the front entrance.
Yeah.
They got into the middle and ran right into the big heavy fire. They had to drop the line and get out.
Okay.
So after the fire and that, when the crews were coming in, the cleanup crews by Patriot, this demolition and that, they were cleaning up that debris field. Now, when you look at the size of the mill debris field, and what's the odds of finding
Something
the first
like
nozzle from the crew that had to drop it from Uxbridge
Wow.
to get recovered,
Yeah,
So,
and to be able to save
yeah,
it and have it,
yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And he's got some beautiful trophies that he's won with his fire trucks that we'll get
Yeah.
to after.
That wooden down there goes back to 1620s. And that goes back to the history of New Amsterdam, New York is Manhattan today. And
Yeah.
the founder of that was Peter Stuyvesant in the early 1600s. 1628, he had a fire in the village, very first fire. And so he orchestrated a fire code system. And then a few years later, he formed this group of gentlemen. And they would carry a lantern and one exactly like that.
Oh, wow.
And that goes back to that time.
Well, that's
And these gentlemen were called fire watchers, and they'd walk the streets at night carrying a lantern in one of those. That's called a fire rattle. Now I got a different. They made different styles, different kinds. I got one here I use just for show and tell and display. This is a different one. And how it works, when they come across the fire, they would bring these.
Oh, I see.
And that would wake up the people in the village that there's an ongoing fire,
Wow.
for them to react.
Now they just use the bells.
Yep. Yep. So that's how that worked.
He's got quite an assortment of things in here for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, a museum, no matter what subject matter, a museum is not just like one item like fire trucks.
Right.
It pertains to all kinds of memorabilia and items pertaining to that subject matter, like fire department, you know, fire service, fire department,
That's right.
firefighters. And that's why we got we're a small museum, but all the years that we've been here and when people come in, they said, you guys have done a fantastic job.
Me, this is
Because
my
we
first time
accumulated
here.
so many pieces of item pertaining to that subject matter, being on the fire service, firefighting, firefighters.
Yeah.
So that it all comes into play of what we have, and you know, we're small, but we're big in a way.
That's right, you are. And the importance of what you're doing is even bigger than that. It's huge. It's letting the younger generation see what each stage went through, you know, over the years. And I think that's really important.
No, you know, why I go into when people bring in children, you know, like school groups or individual parents bring in children, and I ask them, how come the Dalmatian dog is the mascot of the fire service? And then I take them over to that old antique sign with a horse-drawn equipment. And the reason why the Dalmatian dog was chosen for the mascot of the fire service is because in the days of horse-drawn equipment, the Dalmatian dog was the breed of dog chosen by all fire departments in the United States. Every town and every city in their station, they had the dog with the horse equipment. And when there was a fire, the dogs were trained to keep the horses moving. Now, if the station didn't have the dog, and the horses hooked up and got outside the door and then stopped in their tracks and said, hey, I ain't pulling this, all
That's
the
right.
equipment wouldn't get to the scene. So
That's
the
right.
dog was trained to keep the horses moving so the equipment would get to the scene of the fire.
I never
And
knew
that's why
that.
it became the mascot.
And there he is, right at the
Yeah.
bottom, keeping the
Yeah.
horses going.
Yep.
Look at the
So that's the
patches.
history to that part of it. Yep. Over here, these chemical tanks, the old-fashioned ones, instead of going, I used to, when we first started, I used to keep on screwing the cap, and the bigger unit in there is the same as this.
Yeah.
There'd be a big metal with a glass bottle. Now, in there, the same system in there, it's larger. What it is an acid line. And when the acid, when that acid component mixed with water would build up a gas. As the gas is built up pressure.
Right.
And that forced your liquid out the hose. That's how the tanks work.
So there you go. I've seen a few of these in people's yards. Someday I'll acquire one for my museum, but this one's in great shape. You did a good job restoring it.
Well, if you're ever interested, we got a chemical tank hose rack. We got it primed, but it's we never got around to finishing it up. But that's over in the pick house. We got a number of fire things over in the pick house that we're thinking of getting rid of. You know, trying to make some money. We got to get rid of it sometime.
Yeah.
These here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the term for these is fire grenades. You know, and they work.
Why don't you open the doors for us?
Huh?
He's all right. He's good.
Oh, yeah, they had two ways of using these fire grenades. They mounted them on the walls, and then they had wire rings. They would put hooks in the ceilings in your shops and homes,
Yeah.
and hang them. Now, the liquid in there is called carbon tetrachloride.
Which they can't use today.
And for them to work in a fire area, the temperature had to reach 160 degrees or more. And when that heat got to that point, these grenades would explode. What carbon tetrachloride did, it took the oxygen out of the air. See, a fire needs three components. You need fuel, you need oxygen, and you need ignition.
Right.
So once the oxygen, the fire smothers.
Yeah.
So that's how they work.
Pretty
That's
cool.
why they look like a grenade. and
I've
that-
seen
they had
videos,
to-
old
yeah.
style videos, where there was a kid, maybe it was just an ad, where a kid was throwing that at a fire, throwing one of those.
They did it in that way too. They would throw them into the fire area.
Right.
And, but that's how they work.
And that's a new addition that Udizzy brought and dropped off to him right out of our museum, just to show him we care,
We were given, some years ago, we were given a plate from the World Trade Tower.
Oh, wow.
So we put it in a showcase.
Plate that's a metal plate
Yep.
from the
that's out of
trade
the,
tower.
one of
That's
the
very
columns.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
These
so
are all
cool
different
coming to
nozzles,
see
yeah.
someone else's collection,
All
if that's,
different gates, nozzles, Stanley wrenches, different types, different kinds.
I have one of these nozzles right here, and where I got mine, it's just like that one. I got it from Las Vegas.
Oh,
That
really?
same guy
Yeah.
sent it to
Wow.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool too, is people can send you stuff from other departments that
Yep.
your department wouldn't have had. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. That big spotlight there, that used to be on the old 1934 ladder truck of Uxbridge.
Oh,
We
awesome.
hooked it up to the electric system, the hookup system, how it would be mounted on the truck.
Look at all the cool sirens.
Yeah.
I have one just like this on my fire bike.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the early version of your foam work.
1927.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've made a beautiful collection here.
Now the other history goes that I got is the bucket. Now the term bucket brigade, when I have people bring their children, school kids and that, go into how did the term bucket brigade began? Well, that goes back to the days of the Bible, because I found these two statues in an antique shop of Romans putting out the fires at the castles.
That's right.
So then with the bucket, so the bucket brigade goes all the way back to the biblical days, and buckets were used up to about 1700, and after that, then they went into the hand tubs.
Right.
And but the bucket brigade all began from biblical days up to 1700s, coming into the United States. Every shop and homeowner had to have a bucket by the door filled with water. The king had inspectors go around daily, checking to see if buckets were filled with water. If they weren't, then the king would met out punishment, however he felt
Right.
was necessary. So what it was automatically, when a fire happened in the village or whatever, every homeowner automatically grabbed the bucket, ran down to the scene, formed a line. Front people took the buckets onto the fire scene
Yeah.
until the fire was put out. No, to keep them filled, well, they used the nearest water source, whether it would be a fountain in the square, small stream, river, pond,
Right. Whatever
lake,
was
or whatever.
local. Yeah.
Yeah, so they would continue keeping the bucket.
Can
filled
you
with water
imagine?
To the scene, so that's how the term bucket brigade began, but that's the history behind the whole.
And look at that. He really did get statues putting the fires
Yep.
out.
Yep,
Very cool.
because it takes it back to that time period.
Very cool.
That's your pump cans. By the
Yep.
Indian company was a real famous common company for making them. Carried them plenty of times.
I just acquired a tank setup myself. I'm probably, I don't have the mask, but I want to mount it on one of my mannequins so it looks like this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a couple full gears, turnout gears.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I see this thing you have up there, the hose clamp.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
just
that's a
got
no.
I just got one of those the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We got the older version.
Oh, look at that one. Yeah, and the guy, it's the one I got comes from the Boston Fire Department.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no
very,
kidding.
and it's just like this one here. It's just like this.
Yeah.
Not as clean, it's definitely a used one.
Yeah. No, up a couple of displays we got, that was given to us by an antique shop here in Uxbridge, donated to us.
Very cool.
No, these axes here, that's an early version, the fire axe. The bottom one is a real piece of Uxbridge history due to the fact that that was given to us from a son of one of our old firefighters that had long passed away. His name was Alfie Jakes. Alfie was on the early Alfie was captain for a while of the 40 Seagrave from North Uxbridge. I was Engine 2 for North Uxbridge. And Alfie had acquired that axe from the old Crown and Eagle mill in North Uxbridge, which burnt down in October of '75. And on the handle it says Uxbridge Cotton Mills engraved on the handle, which that really gives it a piece of history for town.
That's right.
But the axe head itself, we found when his son donated it to the museum after Alfie died. On the back side is stamped and engraved on the axe head, Douglas Axe Works.
Oh wow!
And
so
that
that's
axe,
really
that axe,
history.
yeah, Douglas Axe Works goes way back to your late 1700s. They were well known across the country for making sickle size axes, hatchets. Yeah, they were well known, Douglas Axe Works. Now that uniform there is Perth, Australia Fire Service. Now that long pole there is called a pike pole, used mainly in the old days for a lot of the old structures, especially one-room schoolhouses. They had tin ceilings.
Yep.
And that was used to poke up through the tin ceiling and be able to pull a tin ceiling down.
Nice.
It's a pike pole strictly for the old tin ceilings. Yep.
And he's got a wide array of extinguishers there too, just like Dizzy has.
Yep.
Which is very cool. A fire extinguisher hooked up.
That don't belong in the picture, but
Well, you got to keep the place clean, you know. Yeah, that's a very nice one.
yeah, that long nozzle there is what's known as a cellar nozzle. Instead of going into old farmhouses and that and old structures and getting stuck down in the basement, they would use that, break open the cellar window near the ground level, and stick that in there and just keep working it.
Wow, that's pretty
Called
cool.
a cellar nozzle. Yep.
Australian. Someone came and donated them an Australian uniform or turnout gear. This is just awesome. I totally appreciate you guys letting me come and give me a
That's
tour.
what we're here for. We
Look at
appreciate
the
you
bells,
coming. We
all the-
appreciate you coming.
All the different bells. Look at
Yeah,
that.
we salvaged a lot of these out of that debris field down there in the mill when we were allowed to get clearance. And we cleaned them all up, all the different alarms that were on different floors or different rooms. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Now James, out there from he was originally with Milford in Florida when he moved to Florida on fire service. When we got in here doing the museum, we got the idea where you can't have a fire be an original fire station for the first motorized truck. So it was his thought and idea, let's do a dispatch office. That was his.
Right.
So we built the dispatch office.
And it's very nice. You got the bell up there.
Yeah.
He made himself a
That's
dispatch
pictures of
office.
that's pictures of the firemen out here at the mill. Yeah.
Probably why they converted it to 12 volt before.
The only thing that don't work, last fall, the spring broke on the old ticker tape.
Oh,
Over
yeah.
there, yeah, that let go and, otherwise we had it all hooked up the way it was working. But the spring let go and, so we can't use that. Yeah.
I'm gonna use a lot of the way you've set things up as an idea in mind, because that's what's
Yeah.
troubling me. Is,
The only thing we have here that's working, that's not connected with the communication, these are all just in here for display of communication, the
Right.
radio system,
yeah.
the mics and all that. So, that's what a dispatch office, everything in here, that, how a dispatcher would operate the ticker tape system. All these wheels were numbered on there for the different, alarm boxes in town on the poles.
Oh,
For the-
yeah.
For the, so when a call came in, that would activate that ticket tape. The ticket tape would punch out the number of the call box, like up there 23111. You know, if that got pulled,
Right.
that would punch out on the ticket.
Right.
On that
And
ticket
then
tape
it-
would activate that, and the dispatcher would know what call box was coming in and what area and where the fire was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. These all came from retired Chief William Melvin's estate. We were giving them after he passed away
God bless him.
last fall. The 37 Maxim that we just restored, that's Chief Albin taken in the truck in June. He was on dialysis for a long time, and also some other medical with mobility. But we got him down and got him boosted up into the seat for a picture taken before he passed. You know,
Awesome.
we had to do it while he
yeah.
was still able to.
Yeah.
So we got a picture and
That's
we framed
wonderful.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I hope to do with a lot of the pictures I take and
This
stuff.
fire here was the last operation with the Seagrave. That was taken in October of '75. That was the Crown and Eagle mill up in North Uxbridge, and that was the last service for the truck. Right after the mill that fire got put out, the truck, the town, they retired it. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
We're still in room 1.
Yeah, give you another, well, I got a, one of Seagrave. See, this is how the garage looked before we got in here. Taken in 2003, inside here.
Oh, wow.
Big change, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And I was told this is where the first fire truck from the town was housed.
This is how the truck would look. This is my large scale model I got at home. But that's all the actual truck that my father brought.
And it was
back.
in this bay.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
got,
really cool.
Yeah, I got these are some of my father's old pictures. That's him, right? This is the 21 when it brought back. This looks like the garage here, where they brought it
Oh,
back
right.
in. That's my father here. He had one of the other fellas was behind the wheel at the time, taken out here. That's my father sitting here, and that's Joe Goslin. He was on the department then. But that's the truck after they brought it back. These are some of my father's old pictures when he was on the department of downtown at the old station, all the trucks. This was the 32 Studebaker at the time, 34 Maxim ladder. And that was, engine 1. And the 45 Ford. When I went on the department in '79, they were still using the 45 Ford Forestry.
Oh, wow. Oh, for forestry?
Yeah, we had it a number, about 4
Yeah,
or 5
those
years
trucks,
that-
they
yeah,
took a beating. They were good
yeah,
trucks.
Yeah. There's another different picture of yeah. The 32 Studebaker was a forestry. They never rolled the hose up back then. They just piled it up on the top of the heap. And that's the 37 we just got restored. That's in that bay right there.
Oh, yeah. That's that one right
Yeah.
there. Oh, my.
Yeah, that was Chief Albin's truck too. He was a driver for a lot of years on the 37.
So do we go in there?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We're in for it today, boys. Just look at this.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull it out for you, Dave.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you're ready.
Oh, jeez. Here we go, folks.
I got this one out, so.
Look at that.
That's the one we got on the road. We take
Absolutely love it.
for parades and shows.
Come on, Betsy.
And it sits for so long.
She's saying, I was sleeping in here.
That's the power plant.
Look at that. Wow.
It's a straight 8 dual ignition.
You guys really take care of it too. It looks so beautiful.
Yep.
I'm so glad that, you know, you're doing this and saving these. It's awesome to see it all shiny.
Oh, you know, originally the garage and everything was going to get destroyed in 2002 because the other owner, Tom Swartz, not the owners today. But Thomas in 2002 had submitted paperwork. I was down in the town hall and found out about his paperwork filed for demolition of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and I wrote up a story of the history called the history lost but not forgotten, and about that first bay being a fire station for the first Uxbridge motorized, the whole history. So anyway, then Thomas put the mill up for sale in 2004 and moved to Texas, and so the owners that have the mill property today, they came in and bought the mill from Thomas Swartz.
Yep.
And it was in September of 2005 that the owners, I got a call. They wanted to meet with me down in that little office on Minden Street. So I went in and they asked me what my thought was about the garage. They picked up on the story I put into the papers about what, you know, the history and on the being the baby there for the first motorized fire truck for Uxbridge, and all the other history with it. So anyway, well, I said if we can work out an agreement, I would like to take the first bay and turn it into a fire museum, and you can have whatever you needed with the rest of the garage. Well, when the mill burnt, then they had to take the garage to put their maintenance shop, because the rest of the garage is all their maintenance shop to keep things going for the mill.
I heard something stop, folks.
So Jack Tweed was both fellas were all on hand of, yeah, go ahead and do it. So they gave Benny Emmerich and I a key to the mill down in the boiler room where that chimney is.
Yeah.
And Jack asked me if there was anything left of Uxbridge, and I said 2 hose reels and the chemical tank sat out down here 20 years, all getting all rusted, and the wheels are falling apart. And Jack said, well, let's go down and get them. This was in October of 2005.
Wow.
So we had to pick up.
Surprising they were still there and no vandals touched them or nothing.
No,
that's really good.
No. So Jack, we hauled the 3 pieces, put them in the boiler room, and Benny and Emmerich and I sat down on a bench one day down there, coming into late fall. What happened?
The sign just fell.
Oh. So Benny and I sat on a bench down there. We got out a pad and we were trying to figure out who we want on the association. We worked on the association, how we want to go about doing it.
Right.
So Jack gave us a key to the boiler room. Come and go anytime you want. Use any paints, any equipment. Help yourself.
Beautiful.
This is turning into be real great.
That's right, yeah.
So Benny and I started in, and we brought in Bill Martin, Jimmy, David, Bill's brother David, that's driving up
Over
the
there?
37, and
We're going to pull over there and
so,
let them... Oh, look at
we
it.
went at it, and that's where we are today.
Look at that. Uxbridge #1 truck. Took a minute, but she fired.
everything.
Great
stripped
work.
We stripped down the original ladders, right down to bare wood, redid them all over. We had to, when we got it back from Brockton, it had gone to Brockton when Uxbridge auctioned it off.
Yeah.
And the original owner, it was the father that had a son, Brian. And it was only Brian and his mother still living, but about 7 years ago, Brian and the mother, Brian couldn't keep the truck up and taken care of. He had a taxi service and he wasn't up to it. And the mother and son talked it over about giving the truck back to Uxbridge. So they called up Chief Kessler at the time. William Kessler was the chief. They called him up to give it back to the town. But Bill said we don't have room for an antique for storage, and we got a modern department. We can't use an antique truck. Give it to the guys at the museum. So we got a call up. We hired a low boy and went down and hauled it back to Uxbridge.
I love it.
It was 2 years up until Bill Martin's brother David has a oil service, big garage on Douglas Street. So we had the truck housed in there for 2 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
we worked on the whole truck. Because
Little by little,
when we
yeah.
got it back, it was in bad shape. All the running boards were all rotten away. We had to put in a new flooring, new running boards.
Yeah.
And we worked on the whole truck. Now the only two things that we couldn't do was the seats are rotting away, so we had to have them reupholstered.
Yeah.
The only other item on this truck that we couldn't do was the carburetor. It's a Zenith carburetor with a unit inside of it was called a Venturi, which was all shot. So it got sent to an outfit in New York that restored antique vehicle motors and auto parts. Up in New York, we sent it up there, and we had the whole carburetor rebuilt.
Wow, a Zenith
So,
carburetor it has.
Everything else on there, we restored it.
Very
Painted all
cool.
the paint.
The nozzle's all right on it, just like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Very, very good work they did restoring it. It looks beautiful.
And, the running boards, the flooring and the running boards on the back and the sides are 1.5 inch ash. That's ash.
Oh, solid boards, inch,
Yeah.
inch and an eighth ash. Oh, and this is the back of this one, engine 2. They ride these in the parades. Just this one or both of them? Do you ride in the?
That's not registered and insured yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you just ride this one in the parades? Very nice. Very nice.
Most everything on here is original. A little bit of the history to the sea gear is right here, Dave. Now, this was taken at Columbus, Ohio at a railroad siding. This got shipped by rail after
yeah.
completion. Now, when you look at the bell and the spotlight, originally were up on a tank before it comes back to Uxbridge.
Yeah.
When they got back here, the North Uxbridge station had the old arch doorway.
Yeah.
The North Uxbridge station was built in 1904. So when they went to put the truck in, most likely these wouldn't get through the doorway at the top.
Right.
So they took them off and they mounted the bell and the spotlight, those original bell and spotlight on one unit.
Oh, I
On the
see.
side of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now here's a picture of the truck coming off the railroad. It came off the main railroad line that runs down.
The Providence and Worcester
Providence
Rail?
and Worcester.
Oh, nice.
There's a siding rails in the ground down there where it was unloaded down there.
Very, very cool.
Yep. Now when you look down the corner, you see the company sign. You see the numbers right here. The company sign, C-grade sign with the numbers.
Yeah.
Look up over the door.
Oh, look at that.
Got the original company sign.
Got the original. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's the light and the bell on the side. Very, very cool. Oh, you guys to see all of this, because if you have anything you want to donate, don't hesitate to give them a call or swing by and donate something. If you want to just swing by and fill the boot he's got over there to donate, feel free to do so.
Now, all this row here is the engine ones. That's the first fully equipped motorized for Uxbridge. That's the first motorized for North Uxbridge.
Oh, wow.
The Seagrave over there took the place of that one. That's an American LaFrance in 1923.
Wow.
Pumper. Then the Seagrave, the next one took the place of that one. Dave has that. We have that museum piece too. That's 75 Maxim. Dave has that up at the oil garage. We take that into parades too. That's got a sign on there that says retired firefighters on the side.
Nice.
Yeah. So we that's the truck we were on, Bill and I, engine 1, 66 American LaFrance. Yeah. Then the last ride of my father and his brother Ernie, they're standing on the running board. My father's on the left and my Uncle Ernie's on the right. All the fellas are gone. But that's the 34 ladder. That picture was taken in 77. In the summer of 77 for the Uxbridge 250th anniversary centennial.
That's awesome.
Yeah. My father was 77 then.
Wow.
Yeah. He was born 1900.
Well, we know what these are, some of these.
Yeah. That was our latest forestry truck up there, the 57 Ford at the top. Yeah.
Very cool.
They saved the old sign from the old Uxbridge station. It's all abandoned already or fallen in. But
I'm glad you got
the main
that.
sign, yeah, the original main sign. We brought it down here and mounted it. There's all kinds of other
I have that same sign in my museum.
We put up a lot of fire department items out here, signs, and
It's good to know, because now I'm
I put
gonna.
all them framed posters together. I framed them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We'll be out.
Well, I'd like to thank my friends, number one, for restoring these and keeping them in great shape. And don't forget to check out the Uxbridge Fire Museum here in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. They got some great stuff here. There's some great folks here who take care of it, and we appreciate it all. And we appreciate you guys. And stay safe, stay 6 feet apart like we are. Look at us, we're all 12, 14 feet. But God bless you, and peace out.